Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, I'm Rafsya Rachmani. On this occasion, I would like to present my analysis of one recorded webinar video. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is online classroom activity. In this current situation, online learning takes place over the internet as a form of distance education and had an indispensable role in the primary childhood education programs. In the video, young learners correspond to age between 5 to 9 years old. As Piaget's cognitive development theory said, different age has different cognitive development. So when children are required to learn about unfamiliar knowledge, they need to develop intentional learning strategies when they have their own characteristics. That influences the way the teacher teaches them. And to give the best quality of teaching English to students, the teachers should understand and know those points. In this presentation, we can break this area down into following fields. My first point concerns with scaffolding and critical literacy in online teaching. Then I will go on to highlight what I see as the main points of sequencing activities to promote learning autonomy. And finally, I would like to address the things to be considered in online teaching activity. To start off, let's first identify what scaffolding actually means. Scaffolding refers to a method when teacher offers particular support to students as they learn until a new concept or skill is developed. The teacher demonstrates how to solve a problem or a question on the first hand. In the recorded webinar video, the media used by the teacher were Zoom application, so all of the activities were done synchronously through Zoom meeting. Padlet and quizzes were also used to review and evaluate the activity, and PowerPoint in which the audio, the story, and vocabularies are included. As for the types of activities, to scaffold the students, the teacher activates the students' critical literacy. It is widely known that in the 21st century, the critical literacy skill is an important ability, especially for young learners as the millennial generation. In the learning language, critical literacy should encourage the learners to actively analyze the text and think critically to solve a problem. So, before reading a text, the teacher exposes the students with introducing the keywords and facts that will be appeared in the story, and allows the students to observe the images or the illustration of the story, all of which they are the initial description of the content and context of the story. Go on to the next level, which is reading the story. In the webinar video, the students are assigned to form an initial perception. Those activities are the same with read aloud activities. So it is not the student who do the read aloud, but the teacher. So as she reads the text, she asks questions to the students. Here is the example.
He was alone. Do you see a dog here?
With that way, they will have an opportunity to make assumption or marking parts. And actually, the teacher needs to develop an awareness that the text has power to position the reader in a certain way as well. And at the end, the teacher recalls their memories by providing pictures of the adjective related to the characters in the story. And they're in line with Bruner's scaffolding theory that the students at this age will learn through pictures, sounds that are familiar with their daily lives, and that children need support and help from the parents or the teachers. And the support will be slowly reduced, and the material are stepping up to the higher level as the learners gain more competence and they are able to answer the questions on their own. As for the kinds of interaction, the teacher asks the students if they would like to try repeating the words or phrases mentioned by the teacher, and while providing pictures, the teacher tells the students to imitate what she said and what she did based on the picture. And before the students are allowed to answer the question, the teacher asks their name first and how they are doing. Therefore, from that itty-bitty conversation, the students also learn other information for their future practices. They will assess information from the text, so the teacher builds interest of students in constructing and rationalizing information until they can present on their own, as the teacher challenged the students in the Padlet. In this case, the interaction with others created growth in learning. While the students are in the zone of proximal development, the teacher acts as the more knowledgeable other. Students benefit directly from the social interaction in class, and they reach their learning potential with the help of the teacher. To support what I have mentioned about critical literacy, the importance of critical literacy was also based on Piaget's theory that the student in primary school age starts to develop hypothetical, debate, and cause and effect thinking patterns. Therefore, with critical literacy, it all can be provided. The students are not only be directed to be the passive receiver of information, but they will also be an active and critical generation. Now let's move to activity sequences. In the video, the teacher starts the activity by engaging the student to the lesson. It can be seen when the teacher was introducing herself, she introduces additional resources, and the use of puppet is appealing to the students, especially to the young learners. And the next activity is building the student's knowledge by asking the student to identify the sounds of animal, the vocabularies that will appear in the story. And in here, the student's learning autonomy is activated because the prior experience is an important consideration to be an autonomous learner. Reading story is the next activity, then reviewing and analyzing, evaluating, and the activity ends with reflection. In this activity, the teacher gives the students a challenge to write in pamphlets about the students' favorite characters in their life. And those activities, the students' learning autonomy is activated as well, as they will be able to take their responsibility of their own learning. They have option to relate what they have done in the lesson to their daily lives, and the activity sequencing are suitable and effective considering the number of students in the class. However, the class members in the video is the class of more than 20 students, and I assume that it will be difficult for the teachers to be engaged or close with each student, but all the activity is suitable enough. So if by any chance you are teaching in a class of 8 or 10 students, it is very important to be engaged with each student to show that the students have activated their schemata in reading with critical literacy. Keep asking them questions related to the text that you, as a teacher, will use, and help them more with vocabularies, pronunciations, comprehensions, and other linguistic repertoire. It is crucial to map out the student's profile first, so that the program will suit the needs and characteristics of the students. It can be done by referring to Gardner's multiple intelligence test to identify their learning preference and interest. And the next is engagement and rewards. They are the most necessary things to be included in teaching activity. But it seems that in the video, the teacher lacks of giving the students reward. Even though giving thumbs up and clapping hands are already done, it can be enhanced by trying digital stickers. There are a bunch of softwares you can modify your own stickers, and then gamifying your lesson with Classcraft. It is an RPG game when the assignment can be turned into learning quest, and it will help them to be more motivated in learning. Turning our attention now to things needs to be considered when teaching English to young learners, the teacher has to be able to utilize a variety of technology options, connect to students individually, prepares to work with parents, provides collaboration and socialization opportunities, and the teacher gotta be remember that body language is important. Though it is done online, but try to make your presence exist and that students can feel you around them. It is important to remember that in home-based education, the quality of education is not always structured. Academic and learning occur in many different contexts, so it will provide opportunities for students to engage with nature, family, and social interaction. So now let's get out and create opportunities for much better online teaching strategies. And in this case, the teacher is not only helps the student to enhance their ability in learning English, but the teacher has to flesh out their intelligences and students' critical nature. And I have covered all the points that I wanted to present today. I really appreciate your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.